Hello everybody. I'm currently out at what's called the Badlands of South Dakota. You look around and for myself it's pretty hard to see why necessarily the name became Badlands unless you're strictly looking at it from the farming perspective. When I look out here, I see solitude. I see a great way to get centered and so much heritage. Around this area there's Crazy Horse, there's Sturgis, there's Mount Rushmore. There's a tremendous amount of history around here. But most of the state, as I've been driving through, because I'm going from the east to the west, it's pretty desolate. You don't necessarily see much city life at all. And what you do see, it's very simple comparatively. Now, if you've been following along, you'll notice that I've been going all the way around the United States. And when I got to North Carolina, Jacksonville, North Carolina, that's where I had spent a large portion of my Marine Corps career. And I had planned on speaking there and doing some, conscious reflection there. But ultimately, when I got there, I just felt at peace. And I could still remember clear as day most interactions I had there. And areas that I spent, areas that I lived. And when I got out of the Marine Corps, I had a gray cloud, if you will, that was over me and over my career due to my first wife. I don't even want to get into that because it doesn't matter anymore. But I was going to purge my negative there, and I decided not to, because honestly, I don't really have any negative I wish to purge anymore. If there's anybody that's been watching and you're having a hard time purging your negative, feel free, please, to message me, make a comment. If you don't know how to get a hold of me, just send me a comment and I'll tell you how to get a hold of me. When I got to Jacksonville, North Carolina, I initially didn't know how I was going to feel. Because there was a lot of emotion that took place there. That's where my eldest daughter was conceived. That's where I left to move her back to Oregon and everything. So, not to mention, I had felt, that's where my band of brothers was. But and Ashley at the time was with me, because I was en route. She had decided that she wanted to start her new life in Chicago. So we were working our way up there. And when I was at a motel, I was just getting centered. I was just meditating, trying to figure out why I'm there. Truly, why did I feel the need to go there? And then I was standing out at a balcony, looking over a railing, and I had thought, man, even the helicopter, that I flew in was no longer even in use in the Marine Corps. And I was thinking that it almost feels like all the time I spent in the Marine Corps doesn't even exist anymore. And I felt, I kind of wish I would have had a chance to fly the Osprey, since that's what replaced the CH-46. And right as I looked up, I noticed off in the horizon from New River Air Station, here comes an Osprey lifting up in the helicopter position, and right in front of me and not high above me, I got to see the rotors transition and turn into the airplane mode and fly off. That is something I had always wanted to see ever since I got out of the Marine Corps. And I was awestruck. I just kept staring at it like, wow, is this actually really happening? And then I thought to myself, okay, what could be the message behind that? And instantly, in my whole heart, I felt the message was that it was time to transition. And it was represented to me by simply getting to see what I wanted to see and see it transition into the airplane mode. That being said, you know, this last, ever since February, hasn't been easy. You know, there's been times that I'm sure you guys think, oh man, he's deep off, you know, off the deep end mentally. Do you not realize at the time I knew you guys would think that, and I allowed it to happen? That's why even at times I have poor grammar, poor punctuation in the tiles, probably even misspelled words. And I knew that. And I left it because it doesn't matter. I love myself for who I am. I accept who I am. Hey, my spelling might not be the greatest. We all make spelling errors when we're texting or typing or whatever. That's okay. So what I've transitioned into is, instead of feeling that I need to purge and keep purging, I finally transitioned into, I actually love who I am. When I bring the two sides of them together, sure, I can still see all the faults that I had done in the illusion, but knowing who I am at my core and knowing how I got here and all the rough times that I made it through, I wouldn't change anything in the world for it. Because I would not be here right now if everything didn't happen exactly how it was meant to happen. And I now know that all of it was positive. We have a habit of, once something opens our mind up, oh, wow, we have that wow moment and we get it. You know, and we know in our heart that's true. And all of us know it's true. But then within 2 to 3 days, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a miracle you could see. But within 2 to 3 days, your brain out of protection mode, because in essence, you're kind of open, your brain's open, and your illusion, the 10%, doesn't necessarily know how to handle that. So out of love for you, out of protection for you, your brain will switch into something negative and start obsessing about something negative to shut that door. It's not a bad thing. It's not something that's irreversible. And it's actually something that's really easy to get your brain to stop doing. Because you do have a voice in your head, not only just the 10%, the illusion, but you also have your heart. And if the next time you hear your heart, you actually allow your brain to acknowledge it, you are going to see the two sides of your brain, if you will start figuring out all of it, how to purge all the negative and how to have a symbiotic relationship to where you actually become one. And when you're one within your God. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to be able to see this gorgeous atmosphere. I have some really cool places that I'm going to be going to next. I didn't even know they were out here. Honestly, I haven't had a plan which route I'm going to take deliberately, because I know some of the best experiences come when you don't plan them, because you're living life instead of trying to control it. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.